Alright guys, so today I thought I would do something a little bit different and show you behind the scenes of Mod Locator for MCPE. So I get asked all the time, how do you make your app? What do you use to make your app? Who makes the app? But if you're subscribed to me, you probably already know that one. Stuff like, where are the files and stuff in the app hosted at? What server, that kind of stuff. So I decided I would do just a big video going over all of this stuff, answering questions, and showing you how it works. So before I get started, I do want to apologize for this screen recorder because I know the quality isn't as good as Bandicam, but Bandicam isn't working properly, so I have to use this, and it'll get the job done. It records a microphone quite clearly. Actually, it sounds better than Bandicam, I think. But it records smooth enough, stuff like that. But the quality just isn't there, I don't think. But it will work for this video, and hopefully I can get Bandicam sorted out and working for the next video. But I don't really do videos like this on the computer very often anymore, so it'll probably be a long time for me to figure it out. So, anyways, getting back to the video, I'm going to start with who makes the app. And again, if you're subscribed, you probably already know this one, but I make the app all by myself. So I have to find free time, with going to school and stuff. And I actually have more free time than you might think, but I do go to high school. I'm in 11th grade, and I still have to find time to make this app, do YouTube. I'm also making a new app for Android and iOS. I'm not going to go over that one quite yet, but yeah, it's something I just do in my spare time, and I've put quite a bit of work into it. It's over a year old now. It's like a year and a half old. I think I released it in July. No, I started it in June of 2014. Anyways, that's beside the point. The stuff that's in the app, like the mods, textures, maps, skins, that kind of stuff, that's not made by me. That's stuff I get off of the internet, but you have to test it and stuff like that. But the app itself is actually just made by me, all by myself. Some people think it's like a group of people or a company and stuff like that. So just to clear that up. And again, like I said, if you're subscribed to this channel, you already know this one. But yeah, I make this one by myself, and I really enjoy doing it. So that's why I've put as much time into it as I have. Next one is, what do you use to make your app? And for this app at least, I use Eclipse, and I'll bring it up right here. Eclipse is a really popular Java IDE or compiler, whatever you want to call it. And a long time ago, when Android programming, app development was starting out, Google made the ADT plugin, Android Development Toolkit plugin for Eclipse, so you can make Android apps with Eclipse. And that has been like the main way to make apps up until quite recently when they released Android Studio. So if you're going to be making apps, go with Android Studio over Eclipse. The problem is transferring the app over to Android Studio really didn't work out that well. So my new apps are going to be made with Android Studio, but this one I'm going to continue using Eclipse with. And I really do like Eclipse, but after using Android Studio and spending time with it, I think it is actually better for making Android apps, which is probably why it's the one replacing Eclipse finally. But yeah, I would say definitely go with, or I almost said Eclipse, go with Android Studio because it's going to be supported longer. There's no telling when they're going to drop support for Eclipse, if they will, probably soon, if they do. So yeah, go with Android Studio, but I do use Eclipse. You can see I brought it up here. And here is the code, and you can see it is just loaded with errors right now. And the reason for that is this isn't actually the computer I develop on. I use my main computer. This is just my secondary computer in my bedroom. And I don't have all the stuff I need, set up on this one. So when I just copied the files over, I don't have some of the programs and stuff downloaded in the libraries that I need. So it is missing quite a bit of stuff, and that is why there are like 1,048 errors. Yeah. That is more errors than I thought there would be when I transferred it over. But if I were to open it up on my other computer where I actually make the app, there wouldn't be any errors like that unless I started, working with it and screwed up. But yeah, this is just what the code looks like. And I think some people think it's more of like, not so much coding, but just drag and drop, stuff onto this display, and it just works. But everything in the app has to have a line of code or some code to go with it, and this is what it looks like, at least for the background part of the app. And now if I wanted to change the layout, I would go under this res folder over here and go to something like the new main activity. That's the new one in the 3.0 update. It's going to take forever to load, of course. Maybe it won't open at all. Okay, there it is. That's not what it looks like. Let's change that to a 4-inch display. And that's what it looks like. So you can drag and drop stuff onto it and change it up. And there's the Halloween mode that I never released because Well, I'm not going to go over why I didn't release it, but yeah, that was something I was going to add but never did, and it's still showing up there. It's kind of cool, although it's not in the actual update. Anyways, you can drag and drop stuff, but if you look over here, you can see there is code to this as well, and I actually prefer doing it this way. At first, when I started Android development, I actually liked just dragging and dropping stuff on there, and editing it, but after spending more time with it, I like just starting from scratch with code like this, and I think it's just it allows you to be more creative, and it's just something you get used to after a while. So that is what the main page looks like right here. Pretty cool stuff. And then you can see what it looks like. And in this Eclipse plugin doesn't really do a great job of showing what it looks like, where if you look at Android Studio, it does a much better job of updating and showing you what it actually looks like on a display. So going back to the main activity here, I'm not going to scroll through a whole lot. You can see there's just a bunch of different classes. I should have, when I started doing the 2.0 update, when I redid everything, I should have just done one big class instead of doing like one for 0.11, 0.12, 0.13, that kind of stuff. So I'm eventually going to change that and make it more, excuse me, I'm going to make it more efficient in the future, but for now it's kind of like that. And it does work, and it's not like bad, but it's something I should have changed, and I didn't really think about when I did the 2.0 update. So let's go ahead and look at the server where everything is hosted. So a little bit about this server. It is a VPS, or virtual private server, that is hosted in Atlanta, Georgia through NFO servers. So basically I get to rent for a certain price. I pay every 3 months. I pay like $130 every 3 months, which really isn't that bad. I mean, it's a great price. You get a good computer. I get a quad-core processor, 5 or 6 gigs of RAM, 10 gigabyte SSD, 300 gigabyte hard drive, and a gigabit up and download speeds for internet. So the whole reason for doing that is the internet speeds, because if I tried to host all these files at my house, not only would the downloads be really inconsistent, but they would be just plain slow. Where when I have this server, I get full control over a computer. I can remote into it, that I'll show you here in a second, and I have full control over it. I can do whatever I want on it. It's like having your own computer, but it's just hosted somewhere else, and I get to use their internet speeds because it's in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm just remoting into it. So I get to use their high-speed internet, and that's why the downloads are as fast as they are, and they rarely ever go down. So let's go ahead and bring that server up. And I have a lot of the other stuff covered up with this full screen window. Here's my Minecraft server, Minecraft PC server. I host it on the same machine just because it makes sense. So let's go ahead and open up the task manager here. So yeah, quad-core processor, 5 gigs of RAM, and then again the internet speed. So I mean, it's a great computer, a great system, Intel processor, so it doesn't really tap out that much or go up to 100%, although it is quite higher than usual. But yeah, here is the MCPE mod locator folder, or that's what it's called because that's the old name, that has all this stuff. So let's go under like world images. Right here is all of the different images that are in the maps page of mod locator for MCPE. My stereo just turned off. Weird. So I could open that up, like abandoned ruins right here. Open that up, and there's the abandoned ruins image. And if I go back to my main folder, I'm actually not going to do that, but I could see where actually all of the maps are at. I'm not actually going to go back and show that folder, but I can show the 0.13.0 texture pack. So here's that list here. Just a bunch of zip files, Aqua Shader, stuff like that. So all the ratings are in there, banned users there, kicks when I remove them from the list but don't ban them. User submitted mods are all under here, or that's all of the 0.11 mods right there. User mod versions. I had to rename it because I should have just put the folder, or like under user submitted mods, put like a 0.13 folder and stuff like that, but I didn't do that, so I had to make a new folder and then do it with that one. And you can see that is all of the mods in 0.13.x that people have submitted. There are 118 items. It says 119, but that's an extra file that's just at the bottom. And it looks like, oh, it's not doing anything right now. It's at the server. It's just the remote desktop. Let's give it a second. Hopefully. But yeah, that's a little bit how the server works, and I can host anything off of this. I'm using Nginx to host all the files, so if I go back to my main HTML folder, I could actually host a website, and I actually do have a website there. I just don't really do much with it. I haven't kept up on it, and it's still a work in progress that I do want to finish up. But yeah, I use Nginx to host all of it, and I started out using a version of Apache, which was called WAMP. I don't remember what it stands for, but I think it was Apache at least. And that was when I first switched over to the server, and it worked for a few weeks, maybe a few months. But basically what happened was that server software wasn't designed for as many users that were on. So it ended up getting overloaded, and it would crash all the time. It would be super slow, and it didn't work very well. So I switched over to Nginx, which is designed for like huge websites that could host a lot of users, a lot of files, that kind of stuff, and it's been flawless ever since. It works really well. So if you're going to be hosting this kind of stuff with hosting files in a server or hosting files in a website and stuff like that, Nginx is a really great option. And I'm not sponsoring them or anything, but I haven't had any problems with them. So Nginx is good, and also they have good support. I've contacted them a couple times on some things I didn't really know how to configure. So yeah, they do a good job. So that is how the app completely works. All the stuff's hosted on this server. I have to do the coding in between that'll tell it to download those files, and then it will put it on your device and either import it or extract it and move it to a certain folder. It's really, really cool, and I've just spent quite a bit of time developing this app, and I've really enjoyed it, and I know a lot of you also enjoy it. I've gotten great reviews, and even though Google has just absolutely sucked and removed the app two times from the Google Play Store for no reason, you guys keep coming back and downloading it, and on the first time it hit over 1 million downloads. On the second time it also hit over 1 million downloads, which was just absolutely incredible, and now we're over 500,000 downloads on the Google Play Store. So I thank you guys so much. The support that I get with this app is a reason I can even pay for a server to host all of it, and spend this amount of time developing the app, and I really enjoy it. And seeing how much you guys enjoy it and keep downloading it even after all Google's crap just is really, really encouraging. So again, this is just how it works. If you guys want to start developing, if you want to ask some questions and stuff like that, definitely feel free to leave comments down below. I'll try to reply to some of those if you want to get started on developing your own stuff, because computer programming is really a fun thing, and if it's something you've been looking into, starting off on just smaller projects like this and just working at it, whatever it may be, just spending a good amount of time learning and just practicing random stuff even is just it's a great experience. And this app has been a awesome experience, especially for the future. I want to have a career in this kind of stuff, computer programming. So this has just been a great experience and helped me learn a lot, and again, it's really cool to see you guys enjoy it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.